So this is going to be the first class of Kabbalah 1. It's going to be an 8 or 10 week course. I'm going to do my best to get through everything, and we're going to try to do questions at the end. Has anyone taken Kabbalah before? Okay, great. So it's a repeat for a few of us, and I think most of us, we have it internally, so it's something that your soul is familiar with. So what is Kabbalah? Kabbalah is an ancient wisdom. It precedes all religion. The book that it came from is a book called Sefer Yetzirah. It's the book of formation. And that was from Abraham. So it was before, the father of all religions. The word Kabbalah comes from the word lekabel. Lekabel in Hebrew means to receive. So what we're doing in Kabbalah is we're learning the tools to receive. So now what are we receiving? From the moment that we're born, the moment that we wake up, our drive is because we want something. There's an entire theory in psychology where a human is only motivated to do things because they receive something. So you see that when a baby's born and the baby cries right away. Why are they crying? What do they want? There's some feeling that they're feeling. When you wake up in the morning, all of a sudden you have these thoughts, you have this panic, you have these racing, anxious to do this, to do that. Why? What's happening? We need something. It's coming from a lack. We feel that lack. So in Kabbalah, the concept is that we're here to receive. The thing that we're looking for is energy. Okay, the Kabbalists call it light. Okay, the light encompasses, it's kind of like a metaphor or an analogy for all the blessings, everything you want in life. So for instance, when you wake up and it's your to-do list. Why do you want to go through your to-do list? What is the root cause behind that? You want to feel that sense of accomplishment. You want to feel done. What are you chasing? You're chasing either finances, or you're chasing clarity, or you're chasing peace of mind, or you're chasing friendships, or you're chasing health. We're always chasing something. We're always coming from this place of lack, looking to receive. So Kabbalah goes through the laws of how to receive that energy. Okay, can I ask you to turn down the stove? Yeah. I left it up on blast, I'm sorry. No. So we all accept that there's that energy, right? That there's an energy wisdom, an energy intelligence that we don't see, right? We all believe in that. Like sometimes you have a premonition, sometimes you have a gut feeling. What is that gut feeling? Where's that coming from? What's that sixth sense? Or even when you look at the light spectrum, right? You see Roy G. Biv, but there's so much we don't see. So where is everything else? Where are the gamma rays, the infrared rays, the ultraviolet? Where is that if we can't see it? So we know it's there. We know that there's this energy that drives even how our body works. Like how does the body and brain work in sync? What's going on? Science can't explain it. There's this consciousness behind the machine. They know it exists, but they can't call it anything. So in Kabbalah, we call it energy, okay? Energy, the creator, the light source, God, Hashem, it's all the same. In this class, I'm gonna use it interchangeably. The reason I say light is because sometimes people have baggage for maybe God, or maybe when you say God, you're imagining like this Zeus figure up in the sky who's gonna zap you, and that's not how it is. It's this energy force that's within all of us and within everywhere. So when I'm talking about the light force, and I'm saying that there's only a small amount that we see and there's so much we don't see, the Kabbalists call the physical world that we're able to perceive with our 5 senses, they call it the 1% world. Because just like the light spectrum, you only see the 7 colors, but there's really so much going on. The rest of the world that exists is called the 99%. The other analogy for the 99% is connecting to light source. So when we're not in our physical world, when we look past the physicality, we immediately connect to source. Okay, we're good? Okay, so Kabbalists explain, the sages explain that people who chase lights are always unhappy. But if you connect to people who chase colors are always unhappy, but if you are connected to the light, you have everything. What does that mean? So when we put a light through a prism, what happens? It shatters and you see all the colors, right? So imagine if red is love and blue is health and yellow is fulfillment and green is peace of mind, and every color represents something. If you're always chasing the money, or you're chasing the respect, or you're chasing the friendship, or you're chasing the relationship, or you're chasing whatever it is, you're always chasing one thing. You're not going to have the complete picture. You're always going to be frustrated, because the only way to actually connect to the light, to have everything, is to connect to source. Okay? So the question now is, how do you do that? How does one connect to the light? What does that even mean? So the only way to earn something, to receive something, to really have something, is if you earn it. If I give you something for free, let's say we go to lunch every single day, and I take you to the most expensive restaurant and I buy you the most expensive dish on the menu every single day, and that's the extent of our relationship. After a while, how do you feel? I never let you pay me back. I never let you pick up the bill. It's always me. How do you feel?
Like a charity case?
You don't feel good.
No.
Why?
You're not able to give back.
There's something uncomfortable about that. How does it feel if, for instance, I give you a trophy for basketball and you win, like, I don't know, the NBA or whatever championship, but you're really not a good player. We just kind of gave it to you. Do you feel good about it? No. We need to earn it. The way to earn it is by having a challenge. If there's no challenge, you didn't earn. Anything you get for free without earning, you don't appreciate the light behind it. You don't hold on to the light behind it, right? When you earn something, it now belongs to you, and you can now derive light from it. You can derive the blessings from it. So the only way we can receive light is by earning. So how do you earn? You need a challenge. Okay, so that is the basis of light. Okay, what happens in that challenge? Let's say you have a challenge. Let's say my son is struggling with math, and he has a math tutor, and he's struggling, he finally gets it, he earns it, he gets that light. What happened there? What is going on? The level of work and effort and restraint that you put in correlates to the blessings and satisfaction and energy that you receive, right? Let's go through something a little more tangible. Okay, I had a difficult morning where I snapped at my kids. Okay, so a challenge came up. What was that challenge? That challenge was an opportunity for me to empathize with my child, to see my child, and to hear what they're saying and not feel like I'm reacting or I lose control. In that moment, I had a choice. The choice was to either snap, talk back, or to give it a minute. In Kabbalah, when you feel that pressure, when you feel that urgency to react, you feel lack, you feel the absence of the light, what do you want to do immediately? You want that light, you want that fulfillment. It feels good to snap back. She deserves it. Look how she's talking to me. Look what she did. Look how she messed up. I have to teach her a lesson. Kabbalists explain that that's the only free choice you have, is in that moment, and how you act in that moment changes your entire trajectory of your life. Okay, it sounds like a lot, but you're given a lot of those moments. So in that moment, what I should have done is I should have taken a moment, right? So the first rule I'm going to teach is, in order to receive the light, to connect to the light, you must act like the light, right? It's the law of affinity. So in that moment, when my daughter, I don't know, messed up badly, and I came back with, bah, 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 was I acting like the light? No. Would the light snap back? Would God snap back? Would God lose her temper? No. So that was a missed opportunity. So in order for me to have acted like the light, I should have paused, okay? Kabbalists have a word for it. It's more like restriction. We're going to say pause because I feel like it's just easier in our day-to-day life. When you put in that pause, you create that space. In that moment, immediately the light enters your room. The light enters your life, the light enters your soul. You're now plugged in. The way I imagine it is kind of, have you guys seen Avatar? Okay. How awesome was they would take them and they would like plug in. Every time I pause, I envision that plug. Like I am now connected. There's no in between. You're connected or you're disconnected. And when you're connected to the tree of life. You were connected to that infinite. You were connected to all other souls. You were connected to the entire universe, right? So going back, you have to have a challenge. You have to feel that lack. And in that moment, when you pause, when you don't react, that's when you connect to the light. That's when you act like the light. So the first law is in order to receive the light, to connect to the light, you must act like the light. Law of attraction. We're good? Okay. So I inadvertently went through, if we're meant to have everything in this universe, like if God's purpose for us was to have all the fulfillment, to have the health, to have the finances, to have the good relationships, to have the romance, to have that mental fulfillment and peace of mind. We touched upon this, but I'm going to reiterate it. Why weren't we born with it? Why weren't we born into that system where we just automatically have it? Why wouldn't we immediately know who's the right spouse for us and who's the wrong spouse, and what the right diet is and what the right exercise is and what the right business partner should be and what the right decision would be and what school my kids should go to? Why are we born with confusion? So the reason is so that we have that space to earn it. So we have that space to be co-creators with the light. That's what it means to be a co-creator with God. Okay. There's another component that our souls are here, are like vessels. So in the beginning, before the world was created, before the infinite, so we know that there's a creator, right? We all agree. Like, where does the apple get its energy from? How does it get the chlorophyll? From the sun. Where does the sun get its energy from? You know, whatever. There has to have been a beginning source. In the beginning, there's a whole concept of the whole thing of the Big Bang. It corresponds perfectly to Judaism. There was this infinite light. The infinite light was sharing its energy. But in order for light to share, there has to be something it reflects off of, right? It can't reflect off of nothing. Like a flashlight or a light in space doesn't reflect off of anything, so there's no receptor. So immediately when that light is shining, it creates a vessel, it creates a receptor. The light is shining, the vessel is receiving. And there's this beautiful symbiotic relationship. But what happens? You want to be like the light. You feel this innate thing to also share. You don't want to receive it for free. So what happens? The vessel says, this is not working. I want to earn it. I want to be like the light. I also want to give back. I also want to be in a place to share. It separates from the light. It's called the tzimtzum. It separates from the light. It shatters into millions of pieces. And the new contract that we have is that us as the vessels, our souls, our vessels here to receive, says, I don't want light for free anymore. I want to earn it. So collectively, that is what the Big Bang is. That's how Kabbalists explain creation. And that's why our souls are here. So our souls are here to constantly earn, to constantly be in that place of challenge, earn to receive the light, and then to reciprocate and move forward. Are we good? Am I moving too fast? I feel like I gave all of Kabbalah 10 in like one class.
And then it's Kabbalah 1.
Yes. Yeah, it is. Are you good?
Yeah.
You're good? Okay, great. Okay, I guess we're gonna keep going. Okay, so while we're here, every experience that we have, every interaction that we have is here to build us, for us to level up and earn more light. So the world is designed in a way to trigger us. It's designed in a way to be frustrating and annoying, okay? And as soon as you feel like you've mastered it, I've got it, I've been pausing, I'm good, it's been a week, you're gonna get hit hard, okay? So let's go through something easy. Anyone have an example this week that they want to workshop of something that was triggering to them?
She gets triggered a lot.
I actually, for the first time, paused when we were talking.
I'm sure it wasn't the first time.
It was the first time. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you. Actually, it was a couple
I'm sorry, I have to hang up right now. That was her pause. But that's how she learned that from me, by the way.
That's great.
Yeah, she's good about
I hang up whenever I just can't. I'm like, it's better just hang up.
No, but like you mentioned with like kids, like taking that before.
Oh, it's so hard.
Yeah. So how do you remind yourself to pause when the first thing you want to do is not pause?
It's practice. It's a muscle. So, again, I was saying how I had a challenging morning, and I could have used, looking back, I could have used whatever it was. The kid did something, didn't do something, I was frustrated, whatever it was. I could have said it once and been like, look, they have their own thing. This is a trigger. It's touching upon my feelings of perfection, my feelings of you didn't get it done, my feelings of people pleasing. And I could have said it once, said it nicely, and backed off, and that would have been my pause. I couldn't. I got in that loop and I kept going, right? And I'm sure we've all been there where we like, so the hardest thing to do is to recognize in that moment, to have that break, to be like, this is my challenge. This is sent by God. So if you go back, even before I was born, before my child was born, this scenario was scripted in that I'm gonna get really irritated by this child on this day, on this morning, and you meet that challenge, you pause, you level up, your destiny levels up, your relationships become sweeter, your next destiny is sweeter. You miss that opportunity, you level down. Sorry. You're okay?
I have an example.
Yeah, please.
But of the opposite, not of spazzing, but of pausing in a different way. That I realize works for me. I spent the week with somebody from out of town, and she has older boys, and we were talking, and she's like, I was really upset that my two older boys just get upset at each other and like mean to each other for no reason. And so we were hanging out, and this mom told me, next time they do that, tell the older one, it's really whoever started it. I feel really sad when I hear you talk like that to your brother. It makes my insides hurt, and it makes my insides really sad. And I was about to get mad at something in the car, and for me it's hard to pause because I want to talk, I want to say something and like fix it. And the pause is like, you have to be quiet, you have to like take a moment, which is really hard to get to. So instead I said, it's really, I guess it is a form of pause, but what you just said to him, when I hear that, that makes me really sad. And that like hurts my insides that you're talking to your brother like that. And then he was like, okay, I'm sorry, I won't do it again.
That's great.
And I was like, whoa, that worked really fast. But like my normal reaction would have been like, why are you always yelling at him? Why are you always getting mad at him? Like, don't talk like that. We don't talk like that. And it was it was still a pause, but it was like, I obviously had to take that second to think about using that tool she gave me, but it was really nice to like not raise my voice and not get angry, and like kind of also show that it doesn't just affect him, it's affecting everyone around you when you talk like that.
Yeah. So I love that you paused. I love that you did that and you had like a different tool in your toolbox.
Yeah.
When we're not pausing, what are we doing? We're taking light, but how? It feels so good to yell back, right? It feels so good someone wronged me. I'm gonna like flick them off on the freeway, or I'm gonna give them a piece of my mind. What are we doing in those situations? But you also get light when you're reactive. But what happens? You're not connecting to the endless light. You're connecting to, it's like a strobe light. It's immediate gratification. It's a burst of light, and then it's darkness. And then you feel bad afterwards. And then we'll learn more later, but you kind of like level down. Your destiny, your blessings all kind of deplete. But it does feel good. And that's why as parents, or whenever we're triggered, it's your first instinct to want to fix it, to want to correct it, to want to stop it.
Can I say something?
Yeah?
Actually,
you know, I've learned that I like my pauses so much that I just like it. Like when I pause, I had a situation and I was like, you know what, let's pause. And I liked it so much, I never went back to it. I feel like when you level up, like you like it so much that you just stay there. It's kind of like, and then you feel like, you know, I really don't need this back and forth. And you feel so secure about it. And it comes with a lot of practice, you know, and especially like for me, I've always been a girl, like like when I was younger, especially, like I would always answer back or I always had something to say. And I'm like, lately I just listen. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, you know what? I'll talk to you later. And the later never happens because I don't care for it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it makes you level up. Pausing makes you level up.
So there's a few things that I want to say just because I wanted to sink in, especially for those who haven't taken Kabbalah before. The universe is designed to give you challenges. And it's designed, each challenge is debilitating, okay? Everyone's challenge is debilitating on their level. There's no one that you'll meet that's like, yeah, it's going well. Whether the challenge looks like, God forbid, an illness or a divorce or a problem with your kids or a problem with your in-laws or whatever it is, that person's challenge is debilitating on their level for them. And the person that you see that their challenge is, I don't know, looks silly, that's on their level debilitating. So imagine like a basketball player. Okay, is she bothering you guys? Okay, imagine like a basketball player. What happens is you need practice in the area that you're weak. So if you're not good at layups, you're not going to be practicing your free throws. You're going to have experience over and over again with layups. So the universe is designed that way. So I love that it's easy for you in some areas, and I'm sure in lots of areas it's gotten harder because it's always a challenge. Whether it's one area or another, it's always going to be hard. And as soon as you feel like you got it, you're going to have another challenge. And you're like, oh my God, I thought I was doing well. I suck. What happened? The way I look at it is kind of like an upside down pyramid. I'm going to draw it. So imagine these are levels. This is just for simplicity, right? When you start here and you look up, you're like, oh my God, I have so much that I need to like get good at, so much to do. Once you get to the top, you look down, you're like, oh my God, I'm mastering it. I got it. What happens? Now you've leveled up and you have all that and you're like, shit, there's so much more. So that's kind of how every time we pause, every time we get to the next level, there's a whole, you're unlocking a whole new category. It's like video games. The video game is always challenging on your level. The more you level up, the harder it gets. Okay, even little examples. Like I'm gonna go through things like, I give the example of a cavity, that our life is like, you know, you go to a dentist, the dentist is not touching your good teeth. The dentist touches your cavity, that hurts. And you're like, whoa, don't touch that. I don't want you to touch that, that hurts, leave it alone, touch the other ones. But the reason we're here, right, is for our weaknesses, are for the painful spots to be shown, for us to work on that and overcome that. The other example is even like small little things, like for instance, I can't stand the dog. I can't stand the dog. I can't stand the dog. And I locked her up and she came out, and the fact that she's walking around and making noise feels like nails on a chalkboard. Okay, it's little, right? It's little, but those little things are where you practice. Those little things are where you get that muscle going so that when something big comes up, because it will, you have that muscle strength. Okay, so now let's go through it. When we're pausing, what are we pausing? You're pausing, yes, you're pausing your need for immediate gratification, right? You're pausing your need for like, Stella, blah, 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 right? You're pausing your need to fix something, to correct something, to check it off your list, to teach someone a lesson, okay? The next thing that you should think about, so step number 1 is pause. Step number 2 is, what a pleasure. Why is this a pleasure? What a pleasure that I have this annoying dog in my life to make noise, and I'm very noise sensitive, right? Why? Because it's giving me an opportunity to work on not being reactive, and that's the only way I get light. So she's giving me an opportunity to unlock blessings. But for those annoying situations, I don't have the opportunity to have blessings. And the more annoying and difficult the challenge is, the more blessings you're unlocking. So maybe the dog walking around is a level 1 challenge, right? Maybe my kids was a level 5 challenge. Maybe an illness is a level 100 challenge, right? But behind that challenge is that light. I'll give another example. We know somebody who was really upset because they got served with lawsuits. Okay? So imagine if you're applying this. It sucks, oh my God, it's a headache, it's an expense, I have to deal with this. It wasn't my fault, it was my fault. There's so much that goes into this, it's draining. I was telling this person, if you understood that, let's say you're being sued for $1 million, yes, I'm being sued for $1 million. If I don't react and I pause and I don't give in to the illusion that this is negative and recognize it's from the light, what happens? You're unlocking $1 million of light, value, currency of light, of blessings. So I was telling her, you should be upset that it's only $1 million. You should have been like, damn, I want $3 million worth of light, 3 million whatever units of blessings. So if we could swap that and really understand that that is what's happening with our frustrations, and it is so hard to maintain. This consciousness is so hard for us to maintain. We have every aspect of life coming at us to make us slip and fall and not be connected to the light. So reminding everyone here and myself, just because I'm teaching this does not mean in any way I mastered it. I think if anything, it's my correction and challenge in life because I'm so bad at it that I'm in a position to constantly teach it. It's challenging for everyone. So the first one is pause. Don't go for the immediate gratification. What a pleasure that I have an annoying dog. What a pleasure that my child's messed up and I have the opportunity to pause. What a pleasure that I have $1 million lawsuit. Why? Because it's giving you the opportunity to unlock the blessings behind it, to overcome your anger, your impatience, your need for whatever that lack, that cavity is within you. Whatever that, like you need help with your 3-pointers versus your free throws versus your layups. I don't know basketball, obviously. What are ways that we're reactive and maybe we're not recognizing we're reactive? Sometimes we become passive aggressive and we feel like, well, I didn't say anything, but I'm still gonna, right? You have that passive aggression is still instant gratification. It's coming from lack. It's not coming from fulfillment. You're doing it to take energy rather than just let go and trust. Your bad mood, you're judgmental. Maybe you're worrying all night, right? Those are all forms of being reactive. Maybe you're drinking, maybe you're impulse shopping, maybe you're impulse planning. Whatever you're doing to run away rather than accept is being reactive.
What do you do to accept? Like, let's say, so, like what the examples you just said.
Yes. So it's in my life.
It's self-soothing, like shopping or.
But what are you doing when you're self-soothing? You're not self-soothing, actually. What you're doing is you're stealing light. You're running to instant gratification. You're running to a quick fix to numb that feeling. You're escaping. If you feel lack, let's say I was left out and I feel hurt that I was left out. All my friends went out and they didn't include me and I feel so sad, and it touches upon the feeling of lack within me and I want to feel better. To be proactive would be to sit in it, pause, what a pleasure I feel this way, and to lean into that feeling and to recognize whatever. We'll go through the next steps in the future weeks, but it's in my life for a reason. It was sent from the Creator. It's here to help me grow. What is coming up within me? Anything I do to fix that feeling is coming from a place of lack. So if I call my other group of friends and make plans, if I go shopping, anything that I do out of that feeling of is reactive. I lost the game. Whenever you do anything, it has to come from a place of being full. And the only way you're full is when you're connected to source, is when you recognize that all the blessings, all the light, everything you want is when you're connected to God, when you're connected to the light. Is this too esoteric?
No, it's great.
You guys,
Deep.
yeah, okay.
Very deep.
Yeah, yeah.
So Sarah, if you're faced with like a sickness, you also say, I mean, I understand you have to say that, but how do you?
It's the hardest
Rationalize
thing in
that.
the world. It's the hardest thing in the world. So it's from God. It's from God and it's good. And it's here to move you forward and to show you where you need to work on. And you wouldn't be given that challenge if you didn't have the ability to overcome it. It doesn't have to be a death sentence. It doesn't have to be debilitating. It's an opportunity for you to sit and dig deep and figure out what's wrong. And that's why you hear instances of people not doing any treatment, which I'm not saying anybody should not do treatment, but they listen to comedy and they're like, the laughter got me through it, or the meditation, or some people, Sharm had a patient once where his whole body had cancer. And he was like, I take vitamin C. And he lived at peace with like metastatic cancer for 20 years, taking vitamin C. We know it wasn't the vitamin C. What's happening when people have spontaneous remission? What's going on? Are they typically angry people?
6, 7.
Yeah, they've without realizing it, tapped into these laws. These laws of spirituality are like the laws of gravity, right? I could say, I don't believe in gravity, but guess what? If I jump off of a bridge, whether I believe in it or not, I'll be affected by gravity. I have to live within those laws. So Kabbalah, it's also aligned with a lot of different forms of spirituality, with Taoism, Buddhism, Sufism. They all have the same fundamental concepts, and it's the rules of how the universe works. Some people feel it more innately, and some people take classes like us. But either way, when you recognize it and you go with it, you're not fighting it. You unlock and download those blessings, and things work out. Did that answer you?
Totally.
What else? Okay, so we know that within us there's two parts, right? We have our physical body and we have our soul. We all agree on that? Anyone not believe in a soul? Okay, so there's this duality that always exists, right? Where your body wants the instant gratification. Your body wants to feel good all the time now, right? But your soul, because it's connected to the infinite, imagine it's like a drop of water that's connected to the ocean, or like a flame that's connected to the bigger fire. Your soul understands, I know this stupid
I let her
annoying
out?
dog. She's just gonna bark if you let her out.
Okay.
But do whatever you want. Surrender.
I'm gonna do whatever you tell me to do.
I surrender
Just like go back.
without being passive aggressive. Your soul recognizes that. So your soul is always yearning for that challenge. Your soul wants to wake up and have a million challenges. Your soul wants to wake up. Huh?
This is really testing you.
Yeah. My eyes switching. Your soul wants that. Your body wants the comfort. So you have this duality. So when you're pausing, what you're really pausing is you're pausing your physical body. You're pausing your ego and creating space for your soul to be connected to the infinite, for your soul to make that decision, for your higher power, for your, to bring it in psychological terms, we have our brain. It's kind of like this. You have your amygdala, which is like the ego, which is like the body, which is your impulse. And then you have your prefrontal cortex, and it's shaped like this. When you pause, you're pausing your amygdala, and you're giving an opportunity for your prefrontal cortex to make a more conscious, more evolved decision. Without that pause, you're always operating from your amygdala. You're always operating from ego. You're always operating out of lack and instant gratification. I'm going to give an example. I went to a wedding recently and I ran into a dear friend's ex-husband. Okay? The ex-husband has moved on. The ex-husband is married. And the girl is not. Okay? The lack that comes up when you see this, right? So imagine in a conversation with this girl, what would that conversation look like? Why do I see this guy with this amazing, beautiful girl and I'm not? What happened? You feel insecure. You feel, why me? Will I ever get married? What's gonna happen? Is something wrong with me, right? And then you see that girl and what's the next thing you wanna do? You wanna go on Instagram and you wanna search her. Who is she? When did they meet? Were we together when they met? How much after, right? All of that is being reactive. All of that searching, would the light go and search on Instagram to see what the girl looked like? No. So what would be the proactive thing? As hard as it is, if this is in your life, it's because from the beginning of time before you were born, this was scripted for you, because this is the best way you're gonna learn what you need to learn and work on in this lifetime. So pausing and recognizing, I'm so happy that this person met their soulmate, and really feeling it. And it's so hard. And there's an element of fake it till you make it, right? That feeling of, maybe I'll just text him and see what's going on. Maybe I'll just say hi. Maybe I'll text and say F you, right? You just wanna do. You feel the urgency to do. I don't know if you guys all feel that or if that's me. You just always feel like I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna correct it. I'm gonna tell them this is what happened. Anything you do when you're feeling that, you lost the game. You lost the light, you lost the blessings, you lost the promotion, you lost the next level, you lost the clarity, you lost the blessing of the light that was coming to you. The good news is you're gonna have another opportunity in 5 minutes. There's a concept, and I know it's a further concept than where we are now for the people who are first-time Kabbalah students, but I feel like you might be able to get it. There's a concept that we have these unlimited opportunities and parallel universes and options for our future. So when you pause and you connect to the light, it's almost like you've upgraded your destiny. So maybe you have the same husband, but he's sweeter. Maybe you have the same kids, but they're easier. They talk back a little less. Maybe you're in the same job, but it just flows. You get into that place where things just work out. So when we say it upgrades your destiny or you're leveling up, that's kind of what's happening. It's the same people around you, but maybe they're less annoying.
This is in the same lifetime? Sorry, I missed
In the
it.
same
Or the
lifetime.
next
In the same lifetime. Yeah.
Hopefully.
In the same lifetime. Yeah.
Sorry, I like.
It's now.
Okay.
So there are times where when you practice this, so you'll see that, like for instance, after the last round that we had, we were talking about how after a few weeks of practicing this, you go home and maybe your husband feels a little less annoying. It's going better. You feel more fulfilled in your relationships. You feel more fulfilled in your friend relationships. You feel more secure in yourself. Things that bother you don't bother you. The promotion that you were waiting for came more easily. You just level up. Okay, so law of affinity, we're here as vessels, right? To get light, to receive light. Kabbalah means to receive. We're meant to receive. Our souls are vessels. The way we receive is by having a challenge. And when you overcome that challenge, when you pause, not overcome, when you pause and don't react, that's when you connect to the light and you receive the blessings. We don't want to chase colors. We don't want to chase individual things. We want all of it. We're meant to have all of it. Okay? And then pause. What a pleasure. What is the pleasure? That you have the opportunity to connect to the light, that this challenge is giving you that opportunity. The bigger the challenge, the bigger the light behind it. So this week, just practice recognizing, pause, what a pleasure. Instead of worrying. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, we're good? All right, I think I'll be at the end of class 1.
Thank you.